a destroyer of forests, and possibly the largest organism to ever live, even bigger than the giant sequoias. Armillaria challenges our ideas of what it means to be an individual. What makes this parasite such a successful killer that can live for thousands of years? This is the Armillaria fungus, the Humongous Fungus.
Hey, I'm Tasha the Amazon, and you're watching Floralogic. Today we're talking about the largest living organism on Earth and how to catch and eat it.
Nope, we're not telling you to become a whaler and hunt blue whales, or to wear your finest flannel and become a giant sequoia lumberjack.
The largest organism in the world is actually a delicious mushroom, the size of about 1,800 contiguous football fields.
This humongous fungus's real name is Armillaria osteae. Members of its genus are commonly known as honey mushrooms due to their delicious yellowy caps.
Don't get too infatuated with these cuties though. This fungus is a parasitic tree killer that can wipe out forests.
In 1998, Malheur Forest in Oregon was a botanical crime scene. 112 trees had mysteriously died. Investigators scoured the forest, collecting evidence from the roots and the soil. After bringing them back to the lab, they realized the murderer was Armillaria osteae, and that trees as far as 4 kilometers away were being parasitized by the same individual. Further research showed that the fungus was 9.1 kilometers squared, 4 times bigger than the country of Monaco. It is also about 35,000 tons, which is about 250 blue whales. And it was around 9,600 years old.
Once they get to a tree, the fungus spreads root-like rhizomorphs under the bark and around the roots, absorbing all the nutrients. Eventually, the tree dies.
This particular individual has managed to survive this long because the Pacific Northwest has a huge density of trees, and thus a steady source of food. The humongous fungus specializes in Douglas fir, pine trees, and other soft woods. Luckily, their growth is incredibly slow, only a few meters per year, and it can be blocked by planting more resistant trees, such as hardwoods. But when unimpeded, it thrives. The fungus has adapted to consume both live and dead plant matter, so unlike other parasites, it doesn't have a need to keep its hosts alive.
One of the weird things about this mushroom is that it doesn't grow like plants and animals. Instead, it can create clones and then fuse with them into a single organism. Weird. The system works like this.
Armillaria reproduces sexually. The delicious yellow mushroom caps you see above ground release the spores into the air. There are 2 types of spores, which are not technically male and female, but work in a similar way. If the 2 types of spores get in contact with each other, they form into a fungus. If the 2 spores were released by the same fungus, the new individual will have the same genetic makeup and will be technically a clone. It'll grow independently, spreading its mycelia, which, in fungus, are the equivalent of roots.
Most of the fungus mass throughout its life will be mycelia. You might have even seen some of this at home in food that's getting a little old.
If this new individual gets in contact with its parent or another clone, it will fuse with it, becoming just one organism. They continue doing this for thousands of years, and eventually, you get a humongous fungus.
You might be wondering, is a network of fungi really a single organism? The answer is, of course, technically yes.
By definition, an organism is a group of genetically identical cells that can coordinate to do something together. The cells of the tip of the nose of a giraffe are genetically identical to those at the tip of its tail, and so are the cells of the edges of the humongous fungus. The difference is that in the fungus's case, they started in what looked like a completely separate body.
If you're far from Oregon, you can still see these giant fungi all over the world.
If you can, and it's safe, go to your local forest in the fall and look for honey mushrooms. You can tell them apart by the gills under their cap, the ring on their stalk, and the white spores they leave if you put them on a hard surface.
They might not be the same species, but they'll likely be part of a large network of genetically identical mushrooms.
And if you happen to see Armillaria mellia at night, you might even run into a light show, because this species has bioluminescent mycelia.
We can't tell you to eat anything you find in the wild, but if you find these at a store, they're delicious in stir fries and pasta. Let me know your favorite recipe. So what weird plant should I talk about next time? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for new episodes every week. See you next time.